You know the song I pressed the play button and recording button. I actually feel like I have to prepare something, but in fact that I don't have to prepare anything, because this is a video only for myself. It's not for anybody else. But the reason that I publish it because I just feel like it's too hard to hold everything back in my mind. It's better to express it. You know, sometimes I feel like expressing it doesn't mean really there would be some person who would like listen to your story. It is more something like you would like to talk, and then you are trying to talk everything out instead of holding it back. So I think this moment, it would be a nice moment that I could talk about this. Where to get started? I think first I would talk about my love. So my relationship with Silvio, I think is getting, is frayed on the edges. We don't talk a lot, and recently it's been like 3 days we haven't talked to each other any word. I think somehow this is a very important day, that because before we had before whenever we come to this situation is that we're gonna have some drama, but this time is that nothing happens. It just like I don't feel like he's interested in me anymore, and I also felt like I'm not interested in him anymore as well. I couldn't say anymore. I just feel like it's less and less. I feel like I'm motivated to talk to him. I'm motivated to get his response. I mean, if he doesn't want to talk to me, and it's totally fine, because I don't want to feel disappointed again over and over. Especially, I feel like I've poured all of my attention, heart to him, and I didn't get what I really want. Yeah, I would see this as a type of investment, that when you invest something and it doesn't work, and or it works but not work so well, you better just let it go and give up. I think right now I'm in a process of transition, and I'm getting worried. Actually, I'm worried all the time, but most of the time, I think I could just let it go and ignore it, because I know after a period of time it's gonna be fine. I think this time it will be fine as well, but the thing is that I think it's better to find a more creative way to talk about it, record it instead of like hold everything in my mind. I think the feeling that you could talk openly about it, it also feels very good, that you don't feel, you can put your mind together, you can try to think, because the way when you're talking and thinking at the same time, you're trying to put everything into words. I think that is a process that you can actually feel that something, there's a power or energy that is, put yourself together. I think that is important. So this is more like an experiment for me. Yeah, another experiment, that to see that whether this way I would be more solid, instead of being worried or being anxious. I think basically yeah, I think first physically is coming to my period. Maybe we call it a male period, that you don't feel good about it. You don't feel good about everything. And yesterday I didn't have a nice sleep. Actually, I wanted to dance. I wanted to have some exercise. But I was struggling. I was feeling lazy. I didn't want to move at all. I didn't feel I got the power. So I tried to fall into sleep, but I couldn't reach that. And after a period of time, I started to message the guy, the French guy I met yesterday. I enthusiastically sent him a lot of my, sexual videos, and in order to impress him, or maybe like him to, accept that I could suck his cock, even though he was straight. But after trying this for a while, I think maybe I know that it wouldn't work, but I just felt like it was more like a whirlpool. It's pulling me into it, stronger and stronger. And I somehow felt like I am more into the period of talking to him, and to have a kind of hope that I could suck his cock. But at the same time, that if I couldn't get that, it means it would also be fine, and it is acceptable, and it won't bother me much. Because if I could, it would be like a happy plus. But if I couldn't do that, it would still be happy. And we both enjoyed the conversation, and something like that. So the thing is, I think somehow I found him as a substitute of Silvio, that my straight love spiritual boyfriend. I don't know, I still can call this, about him, because we didn't talk to each other for a couple of days. And I don't know, this time I just feel like, why not just let it go? Because it's been a while, and there always should be a start and an end, and the climax, and the lowest point, and the ending. But we've been like this, up and down endlessly. And I was thinking whether it would be a good time that just to stop it. So it is like putting a period of a sentence. That means this drama has come to an end. Yeah. Sometimes it's frustrating that you keep watching a series that is having new story endlessly with the same a group of characters, same a group of people, actors, actresses. There is nothing new. So I would say that, it would be a story that I would never be able to meet him. I would never be able to feel him. But somehow I think this is part of life, that that you have to compromise. And even we meet each other, even we had sex, even we are going to love each other, probably it could be possible, but in a very low chance. I somehow feel like it's hard for me to be the only person that's pulling this with my energy. I feel like I'm getting a little exhausted. I think it is frustrating that I'm trying to have my own routine, making a video, trying to get more attention, trying to get more famous with my content. But at the same time, I think I also have to balance so much things. I have to, maintain some of the other things. Otherwise, something like that. So that's why, I don't know, I will get that energy, and sometimes I just want to put a stop to everything. Because this morning I had a phone call with my mother. I said maybe it is not true that when you have money you're gonna be more happy. It is more true that when you have money and you want to get more, and then this psychology will actually make you sacrifice or compromise more, like your time of what. To be honest, seriously speaking, I really don't know, because so far I don't want to hang out with friends. And to be honest, I feel like friends can be a type of burden for me. It is not very enjoyable. And also I feel like the time I'm spending with my friends, I'm more like a listener to listening their stories, their sometimes I feel like their stories are not appealing for me. And it's very predictable. It's very boring. So that's why I don't want to spend time with my friends, because I know like they're gonna tell me a lot, and especially those things I've known long time ago. So that's why I think my life is coming to stuck into a place that I think I need to do something in order to achieve a certain momentum. But it is just so hard for me because I'm quite distracted, and I'm quite a perfectionism in a type of way that, looking for perfection of my life. And I wanted to balance everything. But and then I start to realize that maybe you should go into a period of totally imbalance, and then at a certain type of time, and then you go for the imbalance first, and you will see that how imbalanced you would be. And then when you get to a certain period or type of state, and you can adjust the other side of the scale and try to balance it back. So I think that's I don't know. I think that's how I'm thinking of life right now. And it is not that complicated, but it can be complicated for all the time. And yeah, so somehow I'm thinking that it will be all right. It will be all right, definitely. But it's just like how right it could be, because it is some kind of predictable, some kind of you don't want it to be predictable, because you've seen through yourself, you know what type of person you are. And if you want to achieve something, you actually have to change yourself. And after many times trial, and it's hard, and it's pretty hard, because basically your mindset is not fixed, but it's somehow like a flexibly fixed. You can only make tiny small change, and every certain time, and it's not that quick. Yeah. But also I think I kind of like used to a very fast transition in the past, and I couldn't wait too much of this to wait for it to happen. That's why I'm getting a little impatient. And yeah. What else I would like to say is I think become a content like a maker, you always have to think something that should get yourself a lot of attention instead of thinking that whether you really want that. I think a lot of people, they're looking for attention because they want to express something. But but if you can express it without getting attention by the others, I mean, then it means getting attention wouldn't be very necessary. So that's why I think for me right now, I somehow think that if I want to get this, I have another way around. I don't really have to get attention. I don't really have to do something. But at the other side is that I think, scientifically speaking, I should do it, because if I do it, and I would have I would see the numbers. So when I have the numbers of my data, of how I get a certain amount of followers, amount of likes, amount of views, it is another way to show the other people that, okay, I've achieved that. But personally, I don't know. I really don't think that is necessary for myself, because somehow I've already accepted myself. I've already seen myself as a very capable, almighty person, that I could freely do what I want. Yeah, I don't know, because it feels awkward, because I feel like I'm a person, but at the same time, I feel like I'm a certain type of god or evil or monster, whatever. And right now I'm trying so hard to live in a way that makes me feel more like a human. And but to be honest, personally speaking, I don't think being a human is any type of good. Yeah. Because the more you are like a normal human, moron or whatever, your life would be full of troubles and trauma. So that's why I don't really appreciate the way of being a human, of being a normal person. I think the more I'm getting abnormal, I feel like my life is full of joy. The more I think more like a human, it is all of trouble. And especially in Copenhagen, and there's a lot of people who are very lost. I think their way to find themselves back is they try to use love to express themselves, to get connected. For me, I think the song you want to get connected, that means you have to talk to that person, to communicate with that person. But during the time of, communication, you're actually looking for an approval, feedback, because you don't want those people reject you. So that's why you twist your words. You cannot actually genuinely express yourself, because what do you call connection? The connection means that you have to accept that person, and that person has to accept you at the same time. Then, based on acceptance, then you can, transmit some information, exchange some experience or some stuff. But, during that process, you have to be selective, because you don't want to get rejected, because you want to maintain that connection. So that's why I think, they say like, oh, we want to get connected, we want to get a resonation. I think for me it's just another way to find trouble. And especially the person who said that, oh, I want to get connection so much, that probably that person has a lot of inside of his heart, in his mind, suppressed in the past. That's why he wanted to get connected so much. But, if he could reconcile himself, that means he could define himself as well, and why he needs the connection so much. You know what I mean? Because normally if a person can be easily accepted by the majority, it's not only because he's compromising, it is more of like that person doesn't have much expectation towards the acceptance. And his life is quite simple, his mood, his personality is very simple. So basically what he's doing and what he is looking for is just, very simple. Because I met those people before. Those people, they are just like, bodyguards working for a hotel, like people cleaning on the road, and whose job are drivers or some stuff. They don't have much. They just want to get some money, and to live. And some fuck. That's it, I don't think those people, they're complicated. I think that's why, when they talk about something, they always talk something a superficial and shallow way. I don't really judge that. I think sometimes it can be a good quality of a person to be dumb and to be less deep in order to feel the satisfaction of life. But somehow for people who are very educated, who are very knowledgeable like me, I just feel like I could see through a lot of things, and I could feel bored easily, and I feel like I like friends, but I don't want them, because the more educated you are, the more experienced you are, your life or your emotion is getting more complicated. So the more complicated your emotion is, it's hard for you to be accepted or hard for you to be understood by the other. And you're trying, or everything you tried to get people to know you, to get people accept you, it's just another way of torturing yourself. So that's it. So that's why, physically right now, I am looking for someone who could be with me forever, like what I've expected, the life or future with Silvio. But somehow I know, psychologically speaking, that partially, maybe 50% of my psychology, I enjoyed the time with him, but 50% of the psychology, it told me that it could be just another, start of trouble or trauma. It's just better to just put a period of it, even though, we don't want it. Of course, we want everything forever, but check this world. Nothing is forever. Everything is changing. Changing is something forever. That is, what do they call it? Being changeable is the only thing that can last forever. Yeah, something like that. There. I want to end this video, and suddenly I would like to say, hey, thank you for watching. But then I realized that who am I talking to? Actually, this video is more for myself. Yeah, maybe I should also say thank you, because I've talked to myself, and myself is listening to myself. And There's a sudden moment that I'm thinking probably people who see the video like this, they would feel sad that I'm pathetic. I think somehow I'm pathetic, but somehow I think I'm lucky, because I think education or the knowledge, how knowledgeable of your mind, is a one-direction process. For example, if you get so much knowledge and information, it is really hard to rewind, and it's hard to get back to the stage of being naive, being innocent, unless some mental damage or accident happens. You start to lose your memory or your knowledge or something, whatever, common sense or conscious, whatever. But normally it won't happen easily. It has very low chance a person would have an accident and that person would suddenly just forget everything or dump every knowledge, information he gathered in the past. It has very low possibility. So that's why I would say, being knowledgeable, being very educated, being experienced is a one-way direction. And the more you are going this way, it basically means it is harder for you to be accepted, to be understood. And it takes time and effort to explain to people for them to seriously understand you, and especially part of you, just not all of you. So yeah, I think that it's pathetic, but also I would say it's lucky, because you are lucky that you see through things. You're no longer need to get yourself into the trauma or the drama or the problems anymore. You can easily see who is a trouble that would make your life complicated or waste a lot of time of your life, and you would keep him or those people away. Yeah, that's why I would say, pathetic. I don't have those friends who will shortly, in a short period of time, will make me happy, but in the long run would make my life complicated and compromised. But it's lucky that I could see through their life and my life, that I would only allow myself to get connected with them in the best timing. Because every relationship, whatever it's parents, with friends, with lovers, with whatever, there always has the best timing and the worst timing. So the best time is that you're together, enjoy. So, it's like a double, triple, quadruple, quadruple the pleasure. But it also has the the time that every person makes each other feel very negative, very miserable. It's like abysmal, like dragging yourself down into it. So I think I'm lucky that I can see that. I can see how I could enjoy the time with the new person coming to my life, and I think I know when to stop without too much struggling. Because a lot of people, when they break up, they struggle a lot. Yeah, I have it, but not too much. Yeah. Yes.